During this introduction, all requirements will be noted on the screen if you'd like to take note. Hello viewers and welcome to today's quest. We have Dimension of Disaster. To start this, you can speak to Gypsy Eris in her tent southwest of the Varrock Square, which is just right here. You need 1 coin for this. It's recommended you be on the standard Spellbook and Prayer. You will not need anything. You are not allowed to take anything into the alternate dimension anyway, so it's okay. The alternate dimension will have no bank that you can use. It has its own inventory, and you have to be very particular, as it's kind of like the ultimate Iron Man for 07. It's anything that you can carry on you, bring your inventory, that's what you're stuck with, including cash. You don't actually get a coin pouch there. So all of your cash is actually Zemomarks. You will not, GP doesn't do anything. So just to give you a heads up there. It also has its own, you can do 4 or 5 quests. After you've actually completed the quest, you can go back and replay it. Please note that Dimension of Disaster is split into 5 sub-quests. The first one, Coin of the Realm, doesn't require anything really but the coin to start. But the other one, Shield of Arrav, Demon Slayer, Defender of Varrock, and Curse of Arrav, require that you must have completed their actual quests in the regular world in order to be able to start them. So this next part is going to give a rundown of the shops and some basic tips on how to get Zemomarks. If you already know all of that stuff and you want to continue straight to the quests or sub-quests, go to the description below and click on the timestamps that will bring you to there. If you want to know where to get all the items you're going to need for all the items that you can work your way up to getting for the quests, then feel free to stick around for this part. First off, we have the cow pen. You can kill the cows for some food which you can cook. I would not recommend selling that stuff to the general store. The red square is a general store. That's where you're going to be selling most of your stuff to. I would recommend, however, taking the cow hide, and you're going to want to take it to the green square. That is everything to do with leatherworking. Tanning hides, sell some threads, really handy. Do hard leather shields if you need Zemomarks. It's pretty easy. The blue one next to it, that is your apothecary. You're going to use him a couple of times. He doesn't really sell a whole lot of anything interesting. The black square next to that, he sells bronze weapons like swords. It's pretty much it for that. The cyan one, that's Gertrude's Foods. She will sell some nummies that you can munch on, but I recommend just killing cows for food. The white square, that is where you're going to have your furnace as well as buy some ores. Lighter purple square, the magenta square, that is going to be Thessalia's clothes shop. You're going to be using her to make dyes as well as getting some clothes items. North of her, in the light blue square, that is the magic store. You can buy some magic armor, magic weapons from there. The dark green square next to that, that is where you buy some fresh produce, well, allegedly fresh produce. I'm not going to attest to the freshness of that stuff. Next to the general store, you see this kind of pink square. That is where you get gems and stuff for crafting. Buy and cut the gems from there and sell to the general store. But I recommend that you take those gems, cut them, bring them to where the smeltery is, buy some gold ore, and do them into bracelets and then sell them, because that will make you the most money for crafting stuff right there. You can also do arrow shafts from the logs that he sells, go through all the stores, get the free stuff and sell that as well if you need to. Some decent ways right there. Right next to it, in the yellow square, we have the Archery Emporium. That will give you some, this is all tier 10 stuff, by the way. It's like first tier. It's the best that you're going to be able to get right off the bat. North of it, in the orange square, that is where you're going to get some bronze armor. It also has some anvils there for if you need it. To the north of the dark green square, that is where the castle is. That is where you're going to find a lot of zombies. You can walk around. There's zombies everywhere. I don't recommend taking on the guards and the captain guards until you get the better equipment as you progress through this area. You can pickpocket the zombies, kill cows, chop logs, trade logs, just do everything you can to get Zemomarks at the beginning part of it. This first part is called Coin of the Realm. So once you get your coin and nothing else in your inventory or on yourself, everything goes in your bank, head on over to the Gypsy. Choose option 1, Dimension of Disaster. Accept the quest. Choose option 1, here's the coin, tell me my fortune. 1 again, what do you see? And then it doesn't really matter for any of the other options. Investigate the coin. Flip it. Speak to Gypsy about Dimension of Disaster. And then it doesn't matter what option you choose, but if you're doing a replay, choose option number 2. So, use it with a fountain, your double-headed coin, and enter the portal. When Zemomarks talks to you, choose option number 3, get to the point. Congratulations, you have completed the hardest quest in history, Coin of the Realm. You are awarded 1 quest point, access to New Varrock and the rest of the Dimension of Disaster sub-quests, as well as 10 Zemomarks and 2 treasure hunter keys if you're not an Iron Man. From here, optionally, you can choose to speak with Tiny. He'll give you a cat speak amulet, as well as a book for achievements and stuff that you can do within here to get yourself some Zemomarks. But that is completely optional. You can choose to do that on the replay, ignore it completely, or whatever have you. Other than that, let's get ready for the next part, Shield of Arrav. We have the Dimension of Disaster sub-quest, Shield of Arrav. It doesn't matter which gang you choose. There's actually an achievement for doing both of them, so we'll do that eventually. When joining the Black Arms gang, one of the free bronze swords from the sword shop will help. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go east and then north to the Varrock Museum, and then we're going to want to talk to Orlando Smith, accept the quest, and choose option number 3, Farewell. And from there we can decide which side that we want to choose for this playthrough. So for this first part, we're going to be doing the Black Arms gang. We're going to want to head towards the southern Varrock exit, and where Charlie the Tramp is, we're going to want to head west down there to speak to Katrine. This is the point where you're going to want to have that bronze sword just to kind of speed up the fight along, especially if you're lower level. There is a glitch sometimes where unless you have auto retaliate on, he can despawn, so make sure to turn that on. From Charlie, head through the westernmost door, speak to Katrine, choose option 1, I've heard you're the Black Arm gang, 1, I'd rather not reveal my sources, and 2, the Phoenix gang. So, let's leave her and go to the Blue Moon Inn and talk to Johnny. Twice. So head out into the northeast. So just kill him. You talk to Katrine again, choose options 1, 1, and yes, that's I've got your arm. I want to join the Black Arms gang, and yes. Go through the door to the north and talk to Mora to get your documents. And now to show you the Phoenix part, which has no combat. So if deciding to choose the Phoenix gang portion, you can add Charlie a Tramp instead of heading west to where the Black Arms gang is. You head east instead. You'll speak to Straven. You're going to want to choose options 1, 2. So I know who you are. I want to join your gang. Okay, sweet. Sounds easy enough. We're going to go to speak to Lo in the Archery Emporium. So climb up the ladder right here. So in the southeast of the room, so there's a shaking egg over here, that moving egg. We're going to want to walk around these eggs in order to get to it. If you step over an egg, the Phoenix will one-hit you. But don't worry, you'll be spawned back to the fountain. Go back to Straven. Choose options 1, I've got your Phoenix angling, 3, clap at the egg, and 1, I want to join the Phoenix group. Somali is in this door just around here. We're going to want to go through it and choose the passphrase. And just keep talking to her until she gives you the documents, which isn't too hard either. Yay! So after we get these documents, we head to the Varrock West Bank, as well as the East Bank, it doesn't matter what order, and speak to the Skeleton Clerk and choose option 1. I'm here for the Shield of Arrav for both of them. The clerk for the West Bank is on the ground floor, and the clerk for the East Bank is upstairs. Use one piece on the other and make it whole. How he fused those two pieces together with my bare hands is beyond me, but needless to say, I wouldn't shake hands with people. Head back to Orlando Smith. Well, can you imagine if your hands can like like fuse metal? Don't stick them down. So there we go. Congratulations, you have completed the Shield of Arrav. For the first time you complete it, you will get a quest point, 100 Thieving XP lamp, and 2 treasure hunter keys if you are not an Iron Man. You will always get 60 Zemomarks for completing it. You'll get access to the Black Arm and Phoenix Gang stash, depending on whichever one you did. The second time, well, I guess second time through you're going to get them. You also get a lockpick, which is going to be really handy for going around later, and a mithril grapple and crossbow. And there's another one done. On to the next part. Now for the next part, Demon Slayer, you need a completed Coin of the Realm and Shadow of the Storm. You're going to need a black hood, top and bottom, or the 90 Zemomarks in order to purchase them, black mushroom, cabbage, dog hair, rotten tomato, and vial of blood. You are going to have an animated book, Agrith, and 4 lesser demons to kill. Now, just a quick thing about getting the dog hair. There is a dog house, a kennel, in between Gertrude's house and the tanner in West Varrock. In order to get the dog hair, you need to go through and choose options 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1. Pretty much well with the dog kennel, when you click on it to investigate it, go through all the options until you're left with leave it where it is, to leave your hand in. And then you'll get the dog hair. The rotten tomatoes gotten where the 3 little jail cells are, and the black mushroom is gotten next to Evil Day's compound to the southeast. And you get the vial of blood by using a vial on any of the red fountains in the area. So speak to the gypsy and accept her quest. And hopefully you have not ditched your weapon for the previous quest, unlike me, because you are going to need it for this next part. So we're going to go to the house across from the church and speak to Sir Prison. So for the first time you do this, you're going to want to search everywhere, both in and outside of the house, so all around. And in all subsequent replays, it'll be found at the same spot. So now let's go into the church. And there's a trap door right here. We're going to want to open it. So if this is your first time, try to pull the silver light. It didn't work, so let's go whine at the gypsy. Go to the Blue Moon Inn and talk to Dr. Harlow. So we're going to go to the apothecary's house. When you talk to the apothecary, choose option 2, asking about a potion of sobriety. So use 2 Zemomarks to buy a beer from the bartender of the inn. Now we're going to want to add our potion to the beer. Talk to Harlow. Talk to Spirit of the Body. Choose option 1. Would one of these zombies do? Off a zombie. So now we're going to go to the West Varrock Bank, more importantly, north of it. And we need to find a tombstone stack. It'll be next to a statue of Zemomarks along the north wall. Let's go inspect it. Talk to him, take a step to the east, and then talk to him again. Wow, that was pretty lame. So now we're going to go to the house south of Sir Prison's house, and we're going to want to search the bookcase along the southern wall inside. Now we need to unlearn me a book by killing it. When you kill it, it will spawn the Spirit of the Mind. It doesn't matter what chat options you choose for it the first time round, but for the replay, you're going to want to choose chat options 4, 3, 4, 4, and 4. Always choose the last option when I'm looking for you shows up. So you're going to be choosing I'm looking for you, a sword that slays demons, I need help to get Delrith home, Agrithnar, and Gypsy Eris. Speak to Spirit of the Mind. Now that we've lifted the barrier, let's yoink the sword. Problem though is to get to Delrith, we have to be evil. So let's wear our black stuff and use the black mushroom on our blade and wield it. Now we can go to the fenced off area, southeast Varrock, where Delrith is kind of stuck. And speak to Evil Dave. Wow, dude needs to go back to living with his mom. Pass through the barrier. Talk to Delrith. Wow, dude hates his life so much under Evil Dave's rule that he wants to die. Yeah, I can relate. So talk to Delrith again. Wow, he hates it so much he wants to die too. Wow, and your life is just so that not even demons want your soul. With this fight, when he says prepare to be incinerated and little swirlies appear, run the heck away from him. He will do this several times. And when he spawns minions, make sure to kill them because they will heal him. Feel free to loot the chest in the northeast as we are going to need it for a task later, and this saves you doing it later. When you're done, return to Gypsy Heiress by passing back through the barrier for a quest complete. The fun, though, is with these, the apothecary will now make us strength potions. Congratulations, you've completed the subquest Demon Slayer. You're awarded for the first time 3 quest points, 5,000 lamp in crafting and in magic. And you will always be rewarded the Darklight as well as 300 Zemomarks. Also, for your first time, you're awarded 2 treasure hunter keys. Well, that was interesting. Poor demons. I actually felt sorry for them. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so now we have Defender of Varrock. To do this, you're going to need a completed Dimension of Disaster, Coin of the Realm, as well as Defender of Varrock. Wow, big surprise there. For this, you're going to need the zombie mask, shirt, trousers, gloves, and boots. You need 500 Zemomarks to purchase them from the clothes store. The overrides, once you have completed this once through and unlock those, that will be acceptable. If you need to get the code, which won't be necessary if you write down the code so you can use it on your next playthroughs, you're going to need 3 tin ores, 4 fire runes, and a nature rune. You're also going to need a vial, and we're going to be killing 2 armored zombies because we need to fill up that vial with some mist. To the castle. We're going to go to the castle library and speak to Reldo. When you do, accept the quest and choose option number 5, Arrav. So on the west wall, search the bookshelf to the northmost. Matters of the Heart, feel free to read it. Speak to him and choose option 1. Would you be willing to bring down Zemomarks? Wow, the queen's even a bitch as a ghost. Why am I not surprised? Talk to Reldo. Equip your full zombie gear. Go to southeast staircase and go upstairs. Now we're going to need to kill armored zombie for some red mist. Collect it with the regular vial. Once you have the vial of red mist, if you've already completed this, just pick up the decoder strips and head to the part where you break into the vault. If not, head all the way north to the foyer, and you're going to have to eavesdrop, listen on one of the green candles. And then after you do that, you go back to the second room to the west, and you go through there around the courtyard, through the next red barrier, and then through the red barrier through the southern room. It seems a little confusing, but it's really not. So just over here to the east of the balcony and a little south, there's a red barrier. Go through it, around the courtyard and through this barrier. Enter the barrier here and inspect the tin soldier. Now we need to go to Varrock East Bank, speak to the trial announcer, and he'll give you the head. That's only after you've inspected the tin soldier. When you speak to him, you're going to want to choose options 3, 1, and 3. It's can I have a tin soldier head? And I'd like to stay ahead of the competition. And then 3, I have to go. And after making those kind of puns, yeah, I'd kind of want to go too. Can I have a tin soldier head? You choose. Now take it back to the tin soldier that was laying on the table. So inspect the soldier, and you're going to have to inspect him 3 times, choosing chat option 1 for each of those times. Now go to the east. In the room here, just to the east, you're going to find a crate of decoder strips. Search it. That'll give us some decoder strips. Kill another zombie to replenish your red vial. Now to the northwest, enter that room. And scry the pool. Control the tin soldier. Go into the northern room. Search the lab desk. Please note that this code will be different from everyone. Please write it down for any replays. So we have EIFD. Now we can unlock the treasure room safe. So in order to use the decoder strips, just drag your first strip over your first letter, second over the second letter, etc., etc. Every time you do that, you're going to want to use those up and down arrow keys in order to select your first number. Then you choose one of the ones going left to right to go to the next number. Use up and down to select the next one, go next, etc., etc., until you have all of them in the little box above. You see how there's 4 digits above? You want to have that to match what your decoder strips according to your letters are saying. So my 1, 2, 3, and 4 is going to turn out to be 6, 3, 9, and 0. So I got to make that match up. Enter and smash it. Let's go speak to Arrav. Make sure to talk to him twice for a quest complete. Congratulations, you've completed Defender of Varrock. For the first time you do this, you're awarded 2 quest points, 15k Combat XP Lamp, 10k Thieving XP Lamp, 10k Magic, 10k Defense, 2k Construction Lamp. You're also awarded 2 Treasure Hunter keys if you are not an Iron Man. And every time you complete this, you will get 600 Zemomarks. For the next part, I would advise you pick up the watering can. If this is a replay, then if you have purple mist, you don't need to worry about picking it up. And now on to the final sub-quest. Okay, so now we have the last part of Dimension of Disaster, the Curse of Arrav. You're going to need 61 agility, 64 strength, and 64 range. You're also going to need, if you have to make the Ring of Life yourself, or if you know the rare soul still doing this and you can trade it with them, you are going to need 43 crafting, 4 smithing, and 57 magic. You're also going to need to be on the normal Spellbook and Prayer Book, as those are going to be necessary for enchanting and doing actually part of the quest. So for this, you're going to need the Ring of Life, Darklight, the full 5-piece zombie outfit set. The cosmetic override, if you're doing a replay, will also work. If you're doing a new one, you're going to need 3 vials of red mist, a lockpick, mithril, crossbow, and grapple, an onion, and 2 vials of water. And you have a boss fight, but you will be doing it as Arravs. So here in the castle, we're going to speak to Arrav in the courtyard. This is going to start the quest. Accept the quest. Go through all the chat options if you need to figure out where to get stuff. Otherwise, just say goodbye. So you're going to go out the castle, and the pottery building just south of the east bank. We're going to want to go upstairs and speak to Ernie to get a cooking urn. Now, make sure that you do not have one of these in the real world, because I heard sometimes it glitches up and it won't let you do. I'm not quite too sure what the glitch is. I just heard that sometimes it does happen. So south of the bank and east of Aubrey, you're going to want to climb up that ladder. And speak with Ernie. Choose option number 1. Arrav said you might have a canopic jar. Depending on your level, will dictate which kind of cooking urn you get. So just keep killing cows and cooking their meat until you finish it off, and then you can either teleport it away or hand it in to him directly. So I'm going to clip this out, as the amount of meat is going to be different for several people. So just come back to this when you finish up filling your urn with, though you shouldn't need any more than a dozen-ish. West of Aubrey is a range, which makes it super easy to cook your stuff. So if you have your urn set to auto-teleport, you will get a message something along the lines of, I guess I should see whether or not he got the urn. Or if you don't, you go ahead and you go use the urn on him. Otherwise, head back to Ernie anyway. And choose options 1, how will you give me the canopic jar, and 4, farewell. Now, north of here, we're going to be going to the church, and we're going to want to pray at the altar. Please note that if for any reason you step out of the church, your prayer points will be drained, and you'll have to re-pray again in order to be able to finish what we have to do with Father Lawrence. If you are not already on the normal prayer book, you're going to want to switch over if prompted, and then you speak to Father Lawrence. We're going to have a little game of guess which prayer he wants us to pray while talking to him. He's going to say, if he says, Arrav, turn to Zemomarks, you're going to want to choose ultimate strength. That's that fist pumping in the air. My faith is restored as rapid restore. It looks like it's kind of like this golden cross thing. Under your watchful eye, it'll be eagle eye. It looks like a hawk. I shall be protected from beasts. You want to protect from summoning. Looks like a wolf. And he shall be crushed by our combined might. You want to do mystic might. Looks like a red pyramid. After he says his phrase, you switch on the prayer and you talk to him and then he'll give you the next one to do. And just keep doing that until he's happy and he gives you some sacred oil. Once inside, in the southeastern area, you see this red berry. You're going to want to have one of those red mists. Going to use it, and you're going to find Ambassador's body. You're going to want to search it for some dwell berries. Make sure not to eat those. If you perchance eat them, you can easily just come back and loot his body again. I guess he has... I'm not going to ask where he keeps all these dwell berries. None of my business. We're going to use these on the Canamic jar. Might as well use our Ring of Life while we're at it. Let's go ahead and use our Sacred Oil. When that's all done, we're going to want to return to Arrav and show him our jar. You can go through his options if you want to, but it's unnecessary. In the room to the east of Arrav, there are 2 empty vial spawns as well as a water source if you need to fill them up. Now in the southeastern room, we're going to find Elamaria. We're going to want to talk to her to get some seeds. In the courtyard where Arrav is, you're going to see 4 patches for farming. You're going to want to go to the northeast one, rake it, plant those puppies, water it, and they grow pretty much well instantly, and then you pick them. So I'm going to get my second vial from here, and I'm going to fill it up in the sink. And when you make sure you have 2 vials of water, you're going to want to take this flour as well as the onion that you got from Zwan earlier and take it to Thessalia's clothes store. She's going to help make us a dye. You're going to want to choose chat option 1. Arrav said you can make us a dye. Number 1, I have the ingredients to make the yellow dye. And number 2, I have the ingredients to make the blue dye. Then you're going to want to each of those dyes on a vial of red mist, and this will give you an orange and purple mists. Now we're going to want to go back to the castle and go into the northwest room where you'll see an orange barrier. You're going to want to go through it and search the desk and get a code key. So we're going to go up to the first floor via the staircase to the southeast. Then right here in this northern room, we're going to want to search the crate of decoder strips because we're going to get to decode some stuff again. All the way to the northeast. Through a purple barrier, and we're going to want to search a footlocker. So go through the barrier and just to the south, next to the bed. Exit the room and head south. Go all the way to the south while staying east, and we're going to want to unlock a door. Then go through. And since we're here, this is going to be one of the achievements. Might as well deface all the paintings while we're here. This saves us having to go through the entire thing again just for an achievement. So make sure your mithril, crossbow, and grapple are equipped, and you see the chandelier that is not lit up. You're going to want to grapple that. And we are going to swing from the chandelier. I'm not even going to try to sing that song, so no. I'm not Sia. I don't show my face like her, but I'm not her. Now we get to do some uncoding. So we're going to read our code key. We have FGBB. And we're going to read that. And first one is over the F for me, since that is what mine is. So it goes up and down like this. So there you go. Once you have that number, you push the arrow button over. The next for me is the G. And just do that for all of them. Yours will be different. Probably do not follow mine exactly. Just follow the instructions on getting yours. Once it unlatches, enter. Take the heart and it'll automatically be shoved into your jar. When you're done, swing from the chandelier again, while resisting the urge to sing along with it. Because if you're anything like me, it'll be like nails across glass. Exit the vault door. And return this to Arrav. Or at least speak with Arrav. Now we're going to want to leave and we're going to want to go to the museum. This next part, it's better if you do it as quickly as you can. However, if you don't manage to do it in one go, it's okay. There is a button you can push and keep trying to do it. So when we get here, this big rock thing, we're going to want to push the button, choose absolutely any option, just something to make it act weird, to distract Orlando Smith. Then we're going to want to pickpocket the curator and then take the shield from the display case right next to Orlando. So let's see if I can do this quickly. So there you go. Whatever you choose with the button, that will work as distracting Orlando Smith. And you see how then he walks back. Before he walks back, that's when you're going to want to make sure you have the shield from the case. Now we can return this to Arrav, as well as the Darklight. Make sure you are not wielding the Darklight because he's going to want that. So may it please be noted that once you finish these bosses off, the quest resets and you will not be able to come back to New Varrock until you speak with the Gypsy to reset the quest. So for this first fight, we're going to be controlling Arrav, so we're going to have a shield as well as a one-hand weapon, so make sure you put some of those abilities on here. You're going to want things like Resonance, Rejuvenate, Revenge. This stuff is going to help you out, especially replenishing your health. So make sure you have some stuff. For this first part, I will be using Revolution. I heard for the Zemomarks fight that it's easier to switch that off and go Legacy. So I'm going to give that a shot. So when you're ready, I think I am, open the throne room door behind him. So start attacking. Use all your abilities that you can. Healing, whatnot. I've put my ultimate abilities to the end just to make sure that I do not use them when I do not want to. This is pretty much a know you kind of fight. So just keep going until you beat it into submission. So you can choose at this point whether or not you want to kill him or spare him. Oh, the heck with this place, I'm killing you. When he dies, he is going to drop a healing orb. You are going to want to take that. That will heal you to full health. So if, like me, you want to turn off your abilities, you're going to need to exit, switch, and then re-enter. Now for this next part, for the Zemomarks fight, do not go to the staircase to the north because it will automatically take you out of the battle and you're not going to get a whole lot of warning in that. For this one, we're going to want to climb up the staircase to the northeast. Portals on these little blue things right here. We're going to need to kill the portals in order to be able to damage him. Ignore the zombies he does, and do not get hit by the exploding kamikaze cows. The cows can be used to damage him. Actually, there's an achievement for using 5 cows to damage him. And the cows can one-hit KO these things, the protection portals, as well as the zombies. The lower his health gets, the more of these he's going to spawn, and you'll have to take them out. So the cows, you're looking at 1,500 damage a piece. So do not get hit by them if you can at all help. I have to do a lot of dancing here. There we go. Killed them and got the achievement. Woohoo! I do not enjoy doing bovine dances. Doesn't matter what you choose at this point. You can just choose goodbye and skip around with all of it. Congratulations, you have completed Curse of Arrav. You have been awarded 30,000 combat experience, 14,000 thieving experience, 9,000 XP in range agility crafting, 4,000 farming, and 2,500 magic XP, as well as a quest point and a sum of Zemomarks, as well as 2 treasure hunter keys if you are not an Iron Man. So we're going to want to pop continue. And we're going to want to talk to the gypsy. Do not right-click and complete with her when it becomes available, as you will not be awarded your silver pennies. So go ahead and talk. Dimension of Disaster. So she will award you anything special depending on how many of the new Varrock achievements, the tasks that you did. But either way, you're going to be awarded 2 more quest points, the ability to replay it, and you can now use cosmetic overrides as opposed to getting the outfits like the zombie outfit or whatnot. You're also awarded 10 silver pennies in her reward shop. So by talking to her, you can choose to replay it, or you can see all the things you can do. Here you have a Darklight and a couple of shop upgrades. You have some boss skips for Agrithnar and Zemomarks, pets, and all that wonderful little stuff. So now, when you right-click her, you're going to see the reward, reset, and complete. Reset is so we can reset it all, and we can go back to the Dimension of Disaster. Now you see the portal's still there, but we will not be able to enter it until we hit reset. Reward will open up her reward shop. Now there's something I want to show you other than the reward list, which is a comp requirement. What you're going to want to do is there's also something that you can buy from Thalisa's shop. Now as you see, all of the stuff from before is here. I really don't care what you have to say, dude. So that means you can keep getting your Zemomarks up and up and up. What you want to eventually do is save for this, the mystery gift. This mystery gift is a chromatic party hat. It will show in newsfeed for your world when you purchase this. This is something, you know, if you're a completionist like me, that you're going to want to get eventually anyway. But so as you can tell from each playthrough, your inventory is saved. So that is really handy. Then if we read the pocketbook, unhide completed, we'll see that all the things that we completed before are also here. So you do not need to do this over in one playthrough. Back then when this was a current thing, there would be people that you could go to swap R's 3 gold for Zemomarks in order to buy the chromatic party hat or anything else that you might have needed. I don't know if those people are still around. It's up to you to whether or not you want to find them, and if you want to trust swaps, that is your responsibility altogether. If somebody decides to scam you, please be warned that some people do that. My boyfriend got scammed a bunch of times until he finally found somebody he could trust for this. So whether or not you want to grind the Zemomarks on your own or find somebody that you can trust to get it for you, that's completely 100% up to you. I'm going to be doing all of the special things later in another video. Feel free to keep an eye out for that, for if you want to go for the comp. I think it's either a comp or a trimmed comp requirement. Other than that, I hope you enjoy your rewards. I hope you enjoy all unlocking everything by redoing this over and over. I hope you enjoy rewards, and as always, thank you for watching. Feel free to follow the links below. Just talk to me on Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, and the very rare time that I stream on Twitch. So until the next video, I will see you later. Ciao. Cows. I see cows.